and welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be talking about a few skincare products and several makeup products that are getting me in the mood for the summertime. And I am super excited today to let you know that I am partnering with Good Molecules for this video. I have been a huge fan of Good Molecules for many years. In particular, you guys know I'm a huge fan of their Yerba Mate eye gel. I use this almost every single morning because unfortunately I am plagued with puffy eyes, probably because I love salt so much and I just can't help it. But I do love this eye gel so much, so I actually have a backup box here so that when this tube runs out, I don't have to go out and get one. I will have one waiting for me. So I have gone through countless tubes of this, absolutely love it. And then, as you guys know, I have fallen in love with their sheer mineral sunscreen with an SPF of 30. So just wanted to let you know that I have already been a fan of Good Molecules before partnering up with them. So when they reached out to me, I was more than thrilled to take them up on this opportunity to talk about their new launch, which I will be talking about in just a few moments here. But let's go ahead and start with a couple of skincare products that I have loved for quite a while now. And because of the summertime coming up, I have been reaching for these because they have such a lovely freshness about them. They are very botanically driven, and they both have a very lovely herbal botanical scent to both of them in their own unique way. So let's go ahead and start talking about the first one. I'm going to talk about the cleanser first, and this is the Blissoma Mild Rice Cleanser. And I have been a huge fan of this for many years. I don't talk about it that often. I feel like it's kind of a unsung hero in my skincare collection, but I have spoken about it in the past, and let's go ahead and talk about why I love it so much. I typically use it as a second cleanse. I love using it after an oil cleanse, especially those that don't emulsify off with water. But I even love to use this with cleansers, oil cleansers and balm cleansers that do emulsify off with water. I just find myself reaching for this in many occasions. But anyway, let's talk about the ingredients. This has organic rice brown flour in it, which acts as a lovely physical exfoliant, but it's very gentle. So you do not have the feeling at all that it's going to be stripping on the skin or damaging your skin in any way. It's just super mild and gentle. So for those of you who don't like physical exfoliants, this is one that I could recommend to you that you're not going to have to worry about those concerns. It also has lovely botanical ingredients. I'm just going to name a few. It's got organic willow bark extract, organic chickweed, it's got rose, organic marshmallow root, and chamomile. The oils in here are also beautiful, just to name a couple: organic hemp oil and apricot kernel oil. It also contains palm-free glycerin. I'm going to show you what it looks like. You can see that it's very smooth and creamy. And even just feeling it on my skin right here, you know, it's more of a creamy feeling, more so than a physical exfoliant. You know, the rice grain in here is just very gentle. The scent is super refreshing. It's kind of got that citrusy herbal type of scent profile that, like I said, because of this summer just right around the corner, I do find it just so refreshing, and I have been using it more in the morning. Now, again, for those of you who frequent my channel, you hear me mention a lot that I just splash my face with water in the morning. Typically, I don't use any type of a cleanser to, you know, quote unquote, wash my face in the morning. But I have found myself reaching for this quite a bit in the morning these days because I just feel like I do want something to just make sure I'm removing any sweat that may have developed overnight because it is getting warmer. I do feel like maybe I'm getting a little bit more warm and sweaty overnight. So I do want to make sure I am removing that. And so I have been reaching for this in the mornings. The citrusy kind of green and fresh scent that this has is really lovely in the morning. And then another product that really speaks to summertime for me that I have used for many years, but I've been reaching for this more frequently, is the Live Botanical Ambient Moisture Liquid. This is a creamy serum that's going to help protect against moisture loss and just helps with your overall barrier function. So let me show you what this looks like. And you can see it's a very creamy serum type of texture, but it is a little bit on the runny side. So it's kind of that hybrid between a lotiony texture and a liquidy texture. And that is because it is an aloe base. So it's got a base of organic aloe juice. There's also strawberry seed oil in here. And I just want to mention the scent is amazing. It smells like fresh strawberries. So again, these two products that I'm talking about, the Blissoma Mild Rice Cleanser and then this Live Botanical Ambient Moisture Liquid, they just really sing summertime for me, especially with that strawberry scent. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and of course not synthetic-y at all. This is coming from that strawberry seed oil. So a really, really beautiful scent. There's also, of course, because this is Live Botanical, there's beautiful organic botanical extracts in here like Go-To Cola, which is going to help firm your skin, decrease redness, it helps soften the skin. There's marshmallow root in here, which is a lovely humectant. It also helps decrease irritation. There's red clover in here, which helps promote skin elasticity. And I also didn't realize this, there's horse chestnut in here, which is going to help improve circulation. But if you take this underneath your eyes, the horse chestnut in here is going to help decrease puffiness, which of course is something I'm always looking to do. So I also want to mention here that Live Botanical, I think I mentioned this in a previous video a little while ago, that Live Botanical has revamped their website. It looks absolutely beautiful. Carolyn, the founder of Live Botanical, has always provided incredible information on her website, but I feel like it's even better organized and even more informative. So great information about ingredients and just the products in general. But I do also want to mention that she's always had minis, but I think they've been 5 milliliters, but now they are being offered in a 15 ml size. So I think that's even better. If you know you love one of her products, it's great for travel, but I do think it's even better for a discovery size. So it just gives you a little bit more product to really get a feel for, you know, if you really like the product and you want to get the full size. So I think that her upgrading the mini size to a 15 ml size is just absolutely wonderful. So yeah, this is just another product that is wonderful year round, but it just really speaks to the summertime for me. Of course, just like I said, with this beautiful strawberry scent, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So now let's get to the Good Molecules launch, which I was so excited about. This is their vitamin C serum with oryzanol. And I wasn't too sure what the packaging was gonna look like or what the delivery system was going to look like. And I was really pleasantly surprised by this because it is a tube. And when I undid the cap, I wasn't too sure what to expect, but I was really pleasantly surprised that it is a pump. So you'll see here that this texture, kind of similarly to the Live Botanical, is a lotion serum, but unlike the Live Botanical, which is aloe base, you know, and kind of watery, this is definitely a lotion texture. So this, you know, if you have oily skin, this could definitely be a moisturizer on its own for you. And even if you have normal skin, I think in the summertime, this could suffice as a moisturizer for you. So I just wanted to show you that texture, which I think is really beautiful. I love the texture. It has a really lovely slip, feels very moisturizing, soaks into the skin really easily. So right off the bat, the texture for me is a huge win. And then the other thing that's a huge win for this is it is only $14. So really amazing on the price point. But let's talk about what the most important thing is about this serum, and that is what is in it. So there are 2 types of vitamin C in here, and the vitamin C is at 8%, which I think is wonderful. So there's ascorbyl glucoside and then magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. So those are the 2 vitamin C esters in here. And they've used esters, of course, because they are more stable than using the ascorbic acid. There's also 1% kojic acid ester and then 1% oryzanol. So let's talk about oryzanol because some of you may not be familiar with oryzanol. I know that I was not. So oryzanol is extracted from rice bran oil. It provides emollients and it also helps brighten the skin and evens skin tone. And I believe that that action comes from the ferulic acid esters that are in oryzanol. So this sounds like a really amazing ingredient. Like I said, I was not familiar with it before, so was really happy to learn more about oryzanol. And then the kojic acid in here is gonna help even skin tone as well. It's going to help fade those sunspots or, you know, hyperpigmentation. And then of course, vitamin C, we all know is such a hero ingredient that's going to help boost collagen in your skin cells. It also helps decrease melanin production. And then just overall, it helps reduce premature aging, especially especially premature aging that is due to sun exposure. So in terms of my experience with this product, I have been using it almost daily since I received it. I've used it with all different kinds of products in terms of on top of other serums, underneath different types of lotions, underneath different types of foundations. It has played well with everything that I have thrown at it, so that has been great. Like I said, I love the texture. I love the lotiony texture. I also mentioned that I think this could be used as a moisturizer in and of itself if you do tend to lean a little bit oily to normal, and especially in the summertime. And then as far as efficacy for me, now I have been using vitamin C products for years. I think I'm pretty close to 10 years or possibly over 10 years of using vitamin C on almost a near daily basis. So it's not like I'm going to, use a new vitamin C product and notice a huge difference in my skin. But what I will say is that since I've been using this, I haven't noticed any type of regression. Like, this is not as effective as any of the other vitamin C products that I have been using, which I find to be very, very effective. So I would say that this is just as effective as any of the other vitamin C products that I have been using, which I will say are definitely more expensive than this one. So I think if you have been looking for a vitamin C serum or lotion, moisturizer to use, but they have been out of your price point, this is definitely a good one to try for sure, because I've been very impressed with it. And like I said, I love the texture and it has played well with other products that I have been using. So overall, huge rave for the Good Molecules Vitamin C Serum with Oryzanol. You can find this at Ulta, which I think is really convenient. So online, or of course there's lots of Ultas around. And if you do place an order and you have puffy eyes, you might want to throw in your cart one of their yerba mate eye gels, or if you're wanting to get a new sunscreen, definitely check out their Sheer Mineral sunscreen, which actually, talking about their sunscreen, is a nice segue into the makeup portion of this video, because I actually really love blending the two of these products. This is the Summer Friday Sheer Skin Tint, and before everybody goes crazy and says, oh, you're not supposed to mix your sunscreen with your foundation because then you decrease the SPF. I am fully aware of that. So what I do is I put a layer of this on first, and then I add a little bit of the Good Molecules sunscreen into the Summer Fridays just to kind of tone this down a little bit, because even though this says it's a sheer skin tint, I actually find that this provides a pretty decent amount of coverage. And there are some days where I just want to tone it down just a little bit. So I will mix these two together and it just gives me that perfect summertime coverage that you might be looking for. So a layer of this to begin with, and then I do mix the two. So I'm definitely getting good coverage. So the Summer Fridays is what I have on today. And then I didn't bring it down here for filming, but I do also have the Tower 28 concealer on, and my color is K-Town, and that is what I'm wearing today, sort of as the base foundation for the canvas for this look. And then what I put on top of my foundation is the what is this called? I can never remember. The Glowy Super Gel, and the color I like is Sun Glow. It has just a little bit of a bronze tint to it. It is nothing over the top though. It's quite subtle, at least on my skin tone, and it blends really well, really easily, and it just gives a hint of a bronzy glow, and it wears really well under tinted moisturizer and foundation, and you can even wear it on its own. I typically don't do that. I typically either mix it in with foundation or wear it under foundation, but right before I do put my makeup on, I do feel like you could just leave it as is, or maybe just add a little bit into your moisturizer, and that would look really beautiful. So I think it's just a really versatile product, and I just absolutely love it, and when I run out, I will definitely be getting it again. Staying with the summertime theme, of course, you have to have your bronzer, and what I have rediscovered lately that I have just absolutely re-fallen in love with is the Westman Atelier Beauty Butter Bronzer, and I have the Coupe de Soleil color. And this is just so gorgeous. And like I said, I kind of forgot about it and have re-fallen in love with it. And this is what I have on my skin today. It is a pretty bright day outside, so I don't know if the color's getting blasted out, but I will do a swatch for you. And this texture of this bronzer is so creamy. And I feel like it's getting washed out a little bit from the sun, from the bright sun coming in through my sliding doors that I'm filming in front of, but hopefully you can get a sense of the tone of the Coupe de Soleil in the Beauty, I think it's the Beauty Butter Bronzer is what it's called. They do have darker colors for darker skin tones, but on me, it really gives me just such a beautiful natural flush of color, you know, like I have been sitting out in the sun all day. I love how it applies. It just blends so beautifully. I use my Merit brush that I typically use for cream bronzers, and it works really well for this particular bronzer. And I think it's because it is so creamy. But anyway, I just think that this is such a good color match for me. You know, I mention this every time, but for those of you who might be new, I have light to medium olive tone skin, and the Coupe de Soleil I think is just such a beautiful match. I also just kind of did a quick little wash with that brush, with that Merit brush, just on my lids, and then I put the Westman Atelier Peau de Pêche on top of that. And I think this is what they call their super loaded, their super loaded tinted highlight. I really like using this as an eyeshadow, which I have not done in so long. I kind of forgot about it. I used it today and I just think it is just absolutely gorgeous. So I use this as a wash all over my lids. I love how it turned out. I do have a different color on my mobile lid, which I'll talk about in just a second, but I use this as kind of like a base on top of the bronzer. And when I put it on my lids, I was just like, oh my gosh, how have I forgotten about this absolutely stunning color? I'm going to swatch it for you underneath the bronzer color, see if that will show up, but oh my gosh, it is such a gorgeous peachy color. I mean, Peau de Pêche is such an appropriate name for this color. So beautiful. Goes along with my love for peach right now. Just loving peach blush, and I'm loving this peach color on my eyelids. So I'm so glad that I shot my stash and rediscovered this product. Absolutely in love with it, and just thrilled to be using this for this summertime, and just like I said, kind of creating the summertime vibes. Love how it looks on my eyes. And then what I used in addition to the Peau de Pêche on my lid, like I said, I used the Peau de Pêche all over my lids. And then on the mobile lid, I used the Rare Beauty color in Growth, and this is their copper color. Now, I mentioned Contentment in my Sephora recommendations when Sephora had their sale, whenever that was, back in March or beginning of April, I can't even remember. But I got Contentment, which is their rose gold, which I thought was absolutely stunning. And I mentioned in that video that I might go back and get another one, and I did. And I got this coppery color. And like I said, I have it on my mobile lid. And these are just so easy to use. I should have brought a mirror. Oh, actually, I think I have a mirror here in one of these. Yeah, these Westman Atelier compacts have mirrors in it. So I'll use this, and they are really foolproof. That's what I was talking about in that video where I was recommending this from the Sephora recommendation video that I did, that they are just so easy to use. And that's why I was really wanting to get one more. And I have been really wanting to get a copper color because I typically don't go for copper colors, but I'm leaning into the warmth these days, and especially with the summertime, like I said, right around the corner. And for me, I'm not gonna really go much warmer than a copper color. So what I did was I did this on the mobile lid, and then I put a little bit along my lower lash line and kind of just like swept it along my lashes. So that's what I did on my eyes. Really love this copper color. Like I said, Growth is kind of a funny name for a color, but Growth in the Rare Beauty eyeshadow stick. Really love these, highly recommend. I think they're really amazing, really easy to use. And then along the waterline, and this is gonna be no big surprise, is I use the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal Liner in Cinnamon. Now the cinnamon color might actually be a surprise because I typically go for the bronze color, but because I was doing such a warm look on the eyes today, I decided to go for cinnamon, which is a lot warmer than the bronze. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see cinnamon is just a really gorgeous kind of neutral to warm brown and looks so pretty with that coppery color shadow stick from Rare Beauty. So on the eyes together, I think they make a really lovely combination. So I do really like how the eyes turned out. And then sticking with the warm theme, I put on my lashes the Pillow Talk Pump Up Lashes from Charlotte Tilbury. The color is Dream Pop and it's a warm brown color. And this is what the brush looks like. It's kind of an interesting sort of paddle type brush, which is not something I would typically go for, but I find it very easy to use and I really like the effect that it gives. This is not a mascara that I typically reach for every day, but it is one that I do reach for when I want kind of a specific look. And this is definitely the optimal time in which I would use it when I'm going for a distinctly warm eye look. I think it works very, very well. So if you are looking for a brown mascara that leans a little bit on the warm side, I do highly recommend this one from Charlotte Tilbury. And then on the cheeks, I mentioned this in a previous video. I think this was also in my March, April favorites. This blush from Say, this is in the color Peachy, is just absolutely stunning. This is just like the perfect nude peach blush. This is something that I reach for kind of on a daily basis for that everyday, just like beautiful, no makeup look. I have this all over my cheeks and you can see like right here where that kind of like that dewiness is coming from. A lot of that is stemming from this product. And I'm not gonna put it directly on my cheeks, but I will do a swatch of it. And I think I'm gonna do that on my palm so that you can really get a sense of the color. And because it is such a light peach color, and on my skin in that kind of nude peachy realm, I would say this is not going to show up on darker skin tones. So this is definitely for people, I would say, in the light to medium realm. Maybe somebody with medium skin, slightly tannish skin could get away with it, but I would definitely say this is more for people in the light to medium skin tone. But if you're in that skin tone and you're looking for something that looks very natural in that kind of like natural peachy realm, this is just absolutely beautiful. There aren't enough superlatives really for me to say how much I love this one. But if you do want something with more of a pop of color and you are really liking the peach blushes like I am these days, then you might want to look at the Kaja Dewy Bar. I did pick this up during the Sephora sale. Now, I know in that other video I said that I really wasn't planning on getting anything else except for maybe one of the Rare Beauty shadow sticks. But when I saw these and I saw the color Peach Cobbler, I just knew that I had to check it out. And for me, I don't typically apply these directly onto my face from the stick. I use my fingers because it is a pretty bright color and I just want to apply it to the apples of my cheeks. And so I feel like I can just do that more precisely with my fingers because this bar formation is gonna give you more of that all over blushy look, which for me, because it is relatively bright, I just want it right on the apples of my cheeks and then maybe, you know, extending it over the bridge of my nose. So I'm just applying a little bit more, which I already did. But that was probably going on a couple hours now. So I'm applying a little bit more just so that you can see that color. And this too just gives such a beautiful dewy finish as well. So if you're into dewy finishes, and this is called the Dewy Bar, it's a blush and lip balm. That's what they call it. Then you might want to think about checking out this Kaja Dewy Bar. And I feel like this color is really, really pretty. It's definitely peachy, but leans a little bit on the coral side. And then finally on my lips, I've got the Tower 28 Fill Me In Multi-Liner, just kind of like at the bottom of my lip here, and then just a little bit along the top. I really like this color. I feel like it's a very neutral pinky color, not too warm. And I just swatched it really quick so that you can see the color. So this is the Tower 28 Fill Me In, and hopefully you can get a sense that it's just a really nice neutral pink that I find goes with so many different pinky lipsticks. I feel like you can use it with a cool tone pink or a warm tone pink, obviously with a neutral type of pink. And then what I have all over my lips today is the Bouche Rouge Satin Lipstick in Nude Brown. And I mentioned this lipstick in passing in, I think maybe this was from my January, February favorites where I talked about their eyeshadow palettes that I still absolutely love. They are so phenomenal. So if you want to see my review of those palettes, I will link that video up above. But anyway, I mentioned that I also got a couple of their lipsticks, and this one in Nude Brown is absolutely gorgeous. I love the texture. It's really smooth and satiny. It feels great on the lips, and I think this color is so beautiful. I know the name is Nude Brown, but you can see that it is a pinky nude brown, and I'll swatch it right along here. And you can just see that beautiful finish, and the color is so pretty. And I just think seeing all these colors here together, they just look really pretty together. I just really love that, how that all kind of comes together. So yeah, but anyway, back to the La Bouche Rouge in Nude Brown. So pretty, just a really beautiful pinky brown lipstick. So I hope you enjoyed these products to help you get into the summertime mood. I really want to thank Good Molecules for partnering with me on this video. If you have any interest in getting a vitamin C serum, then I highly recommend picking up the Good Molecules vitamin C serum with Original. I would love to know what products you all are using to kind of transition into the summertime, and if you have any favorite makeup products, especially if you have any peachy blush favorites, or if you have any peachy leaning eyeshadows that you would like to recommend. I would love to hear about all of those. And of course, I want to thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time so much. If you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would do so. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.